Hello, and welcome to another GK Beginning Band video. I'm going to try to play here on the assignment, which is going to be page 10, numbers 34 and 35, along with page 11, numbers 36 and 37. We'll start with page 10, number 34, Farm Out. In our last lesson, we learned about 2/4 time, the 2 meaning 2 counts in each measure, and the 4 meaning the quarter note gets the count. Farm Out is a very familiar tune. I'll let you decide what tune it is after I'm through playing it. Notice that we have 2 lines again. When you finish reading the first line, go down 1 line and all the way over to the left to read the second line. Number 34. 1, 2, ready. I think most of us could identify what song that was. If you'll notice at the end of the first line, note that there's a breath mark not after count 2, but after count 1. That's because the way they want you to phrase the song, they want you to play the G without a breath between the G and the C in the next line, which is why I played it like that. Number 35, for alto saxophones only. And they're going to practice going back and forth from one note to another. We're going to be skipping from G up to the A for 2 measures, then up to the B, then up to the C, and finally going through D, C, B, A, G, D, G. You want to be able to try to keep your fingers very close to the keys so that it's very easy for you to drop the fingers right back down where they belong. And you need to roll up, obviously, when you get to the last 2 measures, to roll up your thumb on the octave key on the D. Number 35 for alto saxophones only. 1, 2, ready. Student might have to work 2 measures at a time on that, especially when they get from the G to the C, which involves picking up the first and third fingers, but not the second finger. Might spend a little extra time on that, because that's a movement that your fingers aren't really used to doing. Moving to page 11, we learn about the sharp. The sharp remains in effect for an entire measure, and it raises the pitch of the note 1/2 step. For instance, in the example above, you have an F that's raised because there's a sharp sign in front of it. You would refer to that note as an F sharp when you're playing. In number 36, mark time, the F sharp is going to be played with your G and your second finger on your right hand. I'll give you this note right here. Your first 3 fingers of your left hand and the second finger of your right. In marked time, we're going to practice this. You'll notice in measure 4 you have a tied note, and in the last measure you have a fermata over the whole note G. We'll start on the G and play marked time, number 36. 1, 2, ready. Notice in the second measure, the first F has a sharp in front of it, and the second F does not. Remember that the sharp remains in effect for the whole measure in which it appears, so they don't have to put a sharp next to the second F. However, in the next measure, you'll notice that when there's an F, there's a sharp in front of it, because that sharp or accidental is only good for that measure. The exception to this is when you have a sharp at the beginning of the piece of music, like we do in number 37. This is called a key signature. Key signatures change certain notes through all of a piece of music. This key signature is going to tell you to play all your Fs as F sharps. You'll notice that there are no sharps on the Fs in number 37, Sweetly Sings the Donkey. However, at the beginning of the song, you have a sharp on the F. You do have a sharp on the fifth line F, but that's good for any of the Fs that you would play in any octave, which is why the first space F is going to be an F sharp. In Sweetly Sings the Donkey, you'll be able to play this in a round. When we play this in a group, we'll have half the students start playing at number 1, which is the first measure. The other set of students will come in 4 measures later. So while the students in group 1 are playing the 5th measure, or number 2, students in the second group will be playing at the beginning, or measure 1. If you'd like to try that with me after we've practiced this a couple times, you can go back and just wait 4 measures for me to get to number 2, and then you come in at the beginning, and we'll be playing around together. Sweetly Sings the Donkey. 1, 2, 3. Sweetly Sings a Donkey, number 37. Notice again that I'm playing the C to the B. Make sure the fingers are moving at the same time so we don't get this. Make sure the fingers move at the exact same time going between the B and the C. That's the assignment for today. Numbers 34 and 35 on page 10, numbers 36 and 37 on page 11. Please make sure you read the top of each page so you can get the concepts of the tie, the time signature, the sharp sign, and the key signature. And have fun practicing your saxophone this week.